Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Piyush and this is video number 6 in 28 days of AZ Terraform. And in this video we'll be looking into the file structure, like how do we organize a single main.tf of Terraform into multiple files that we can reuse and that we can create properly so that it will be easier to manage and it will be easier to maintain the Terraform configurations as per the best practices. So that's what we'll be doing. The comments and like target of this video will be 150 likes, 100 comments in the next 24 hours. It's an easy target. I'm sure you can do that. So let's start in the video and let's see what we have for today. Okay, so as always, I'm gonna create a new folder over here and let's name it day06. Let me copy the configuration main.tf file from here and then I'm gonna paste it over here. Main.tf. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna divide this file into separate files, okay, like how it should be as per the best practices. So we'll start with the Terraform provider. So I'm just gonna copy this block, the Terraform block that has the provider detail along with the version details. Okay, and I don't want the backend, so I'll delete it afterwards. But let's copy. In fact, let's copy till here, till the provider version as well. So, okay, let me copy this, and then inside day 6, I'm gonna create a new file, call it version.tf or provider.tf. It doesn't matter. So you can give the name as you want because Terraform loads the file if it ends with .tf extension irrespective of their name. So there is no standard format of the name that you can provide, but just provide a meaningful name like provider.tf or version.tf, something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna use provider.tf. I'll paste the content over here and I'm gonna delete the backend details, or I'm gonna just cut the backend detail and create a separate file for backend. So I'm gonna use Control X or Command X, whatever you are using. So now this file only has a Terraform block, required provider, required version, and provider Azure RM without any features. So let's hit save, and inside the same folder, I'm gonna create backend.tf. As I've said, just provide a meaningful name. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just have to be self-explanatory. It will be easier for you to maintain the code going forward with that. Okay, so here are the backend details. Now hit save. It's showing that it's not expected over here, maybe because we already have it in the main.tf. Let's delete it from there. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna delete it from main.tf. Okay, now it doesn't have it, and provider.tf also doesn't have it. Still it's throwing the error. So let's see what is the correct format. Maybe we are missing something. Okay, so Terraform Azure backend. Let's search this, and HashiCorp docs. HashiCorp docs are pretty well maintained, so you don't have to go to any other docs whatsoever. So you can just go to it and get the right details that you're looking for. Okay, so it has to be inside the Terraform block. That's what we were missing. So let's go back. Okay, now let's put it Terraform, and that's to end over here. Okay, now it doesn't show any error. Let's just do some indentation so that it looks okay. Okay, now it's fine. I'm gonna remove this empty line. All right. So now we have main.tf backend provider. What else do we have? We have variables. Okay, so let's create a different file for input variables. So I'm gonna cut it from here. Inside that, we create variables.tf. Okay, here is our variable. And then we have locals. So let's create a file for locals.tf. Earlier we were creating one single file. Going forward, we'll be having the separate file so that it will be easier for making the changes. It will be easier for maintaining the code. Okay, so let's local.tf. Now what next? Now we have resources and we have output. So let's create another file for output. So output.tf. Okay, and then we have two different resources. One is storage account, one is resource group. So let's create a separate file for the resource group, and I'm gonna call it g.tf. And main.tf file, I can just rename it to storage account. So, or just storage acc.tf. Okay, now we have divided everything into separate files. Now let's see what will happen if I just run. Okay, first I have to go inside the day06 folder and then run Terraform init to download the Terraform provider and to initialize the backend, right? And now I'm gonna run Terraform plan. Okay, it says to plan to add, does not make any changes, everything is good. Did we forget something? Yes, we forgot to create terraform.tf var files. So let's create that one as well. Terraform.tf vars. Let's give some value to it. The variable that we have used, let's see which variable we have used. We have used common tags.environment. Then we also used, I guess, yeah, environment variable. Okay, and let's give this value okay, environment equal to from file. Let's just give some random thing. Okay, let's just give that. Okay, okay, now it will still be taking env is equal to dev. It's because we have used it from the environment variable, which takes the higher precedence. Okay, so let's see if we have anything else that we have used inside storage account. Environment equal to locals dot common tags dot environment, and inside the locals, so we have this one. So yeah, not the precedence, but because we have printed the locals instead of the environment variable, we have not used that environment variable till now. So we can do that. Let's see if we can use the variable inside locals. Okay, just for the sake of simplicity. So if we do var dot environment, I'm not sure if we can use it, but let's see. Okay, so it should print, if it is working fine, then it should print the value that we have defined inside the terraform.tfvar files. Okay, now if we see environment from file, so it is working, right? So we can use variable inside the locals, and then for Terraform, this will be the value, and we can create separate variables for these as well, right? And access it as a local from .common tags. So that's what we wanted to see. Now the other thing is what I wanted to show. First is we define everything in separate files. So there are some files that won't be changed, right? For example, backend. You won't be changing this file at all, or like on very rare circumstances. So like there is no need to make any changes. You can keep it separate. Then the same thing with provider. Maybe provider, you will only be changing when you are trying to upgrade the version, right? So it will be easier for someone to do the git review of your pull request and approve the changes. They have to see that you are making only the changes in the file in which you are intended to do, not in those files, right? Maybe you are just changing resources or variables, and that's all about it. Okay, and then there is the load sequence as well. Like, how does Terraform load the file? Okay, so when you run the Terraform commands, it loads all the TF files. Okay, every file that ends with .tf or .tf_vars. Okay, or the files that we have used for variables like .auto, .tf_var, .json, those files. But those are for variables. Now, in which order does it do that? It does that in alphabetical order. Like, so if we have two resources, resource group or storage account, then resource group will be created first because R comes before S. But if we have some other resource, let's say um, something that starts with A, then it will be created first. Even though if it is dependent on resource group, then you will face the error. So to avoid that from happening, you can create dependency between these resources. There is implicit dependency and there is explicit dependency. Implicit dependency is, let's say in storage account, okay, when you have mentioned resource group name, so you are taking the resource group name from the resource group that you have created, right? So resource group name equal to Azure RM resource group name dot example dot name, instead of hard coding it over here or instead of taking the value from the variable. You are taking it from the previous resource, okay, from here. So it will only be provided to you once it is created. So that's the implicit dependency that we have created. Now there is explicit dependency. Explicit dependency is, inside this we can define, let's say, depends on, okay, and we can just say depends on Azure RM resource group dot example. That's the explicit dependency. So try to avoid this explicit dependency whenever you can, and implicit dependency should work fine. But if there is no other option, then yes, you can use this one as well. Okay, so I guess I accidentally deleted the curly braces, so let me remove that. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's what we wanted to cover in this video. In the next video we'll be covering the type constraint. For example, like we have used, let's say there is this variable file, right? Where it is, why don't I see it? Okay, over here, right? So we have defined the type equal to string. Now there are many other data types. So if you remove this, and if you, let's say, type equal to, so we have boolean, okay, that means true or false. We have string, we have number, we have set, we have list, we have objects, and there are a couple of more, such as we have tuple, right? So what are these, when do we use it? And we'll see that with the help of example, we'll see that with the help of demo, and I'll try to use all of these inside one single use case so that you will get the better understanding of it. For now, I'll just make the change to it as a string. So yeah, that's it about this video. I hope you found it helpful. Try to complete the comments and like target, and I will see you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sure you have a good learning experience so far. Thank you.